Balance is hard for everyone, but imagine trying to hold down full-time jobs with newborn triplets at home. Oh, and that's not your only set of triplets. You have two, 7 years apart, and each pregnancy was a medical marvel, something doctors rarely, if ever, see. Karen Swenson reports.
Philip and Courtney Garrett know what it's like to face tremendous odds.
Struggling with fertility and trying to get pregnant can be discouraging.
The couple wanted children from the moment they got married, but after trying for years, it didn't appear to be in the cards.
It's just very hard to hear that you may not be able to have children.
But just as they faced overwhelming odds, they beat them, and then some, thanks to in vitro and a bizarre twist of fate that shocked the doc.
I said, how did this happen?
Courtney had conceived, but not just one baby, 3.
What did the doctor say?
She was like,
It turns out, during the very same month the couple tried IVF, they conceived naturally too. And then one of the eggs split, revealing a set of identical twins and a fraternal sister, all in the same pregnancy. It was an ultrasound that left the parents speechless, and the fertility doctor...
She did mention, I'm sure I will never see you again after this is over. We
said yes.
Correct.
8 months later, identical sisters Wells and Vivian arrived, along with their fraternal twin, Georgie.
It's not too bad, I know.
We could only find one other time triplets were conceived naturally and artificially in the same month. That was 4 years ago, when it made big news in Britain, leaving doctors completely baffled. But closer to home...
As unusual as it is, it happened. And if you're shaking your head right now thinking, wow, the Garretts have their hands full, you haven't seen the half of it.
You see, this isn't the first time the Garretts have had surprise triplets.
Sit down on the couch and let's chat.
Oliver, Jack, and Ellie arrived 7 years ago. Again, after years of trying to conceive.
We were just ecstatic, very ecstatic.
Yes.
And another biological bombshell. The Garretts had transferred 2 eggs via IVF, and 1 split, yielding their first set of identical twins and a fraternal sister.
And I didn't think that that was even possible. And it was like, okay, it was a lot.
Correct. It was a shock.
But it was the happiest of surprises, and the triplets grew up in a home in which year after year their smiles grew only wider. They were unaware of their parents' desire to give them 1 more sibling, which turned into triplets instead. The Garretts surprised the kids on their 7th birthday.
Does anybody have any idea what the surprise is? What, Jay?
Dog.
What do you think, Oliver?
A game for Xbox.
Mommy's pregnant.
No. Oh no. That's a very bad present.
And when they heard there was even more...
It's triplets.
No.
Triplet girls.
No, it isn't.
The reaction was priceless, but didn't last long. It was love at first sight when the older triplets met their younger ones. Each one has been assigned a little sister to especially watch over. And they do. It's one big happy family that's grown so much, it's outgrown their home. The couple who couldn't have kids now has a half dozen. Dad advertised the house on Facebook, joking, "Never thought I would have to move, but I rolled a hard 6.
We've ever played craps before. There's a bet on the board that you can bet that you roll, 2 threes, and essentially that was my little joke that I rolled a hard 6.
And there's no doubt life with 2 sets of triplets isn't easy. It's a balancing act every day. But at the end of the day, they wouldn't have it any other way. And you could bet on that. Karen Swenson, Eyewitness News.
Oh my goodness. Well, if you are wondering how the Garretts manage 2 full-time jobs and 6 kids, well, they do have help. Although the first nanny did quit 1 month after the second set of triplets was born, they have a new one that both the parents and the kids love.